All right, so the last couple seem to be rather straightforward, but they're not. Here's the deal. We don't know how to take the integral of the natural log. So there's nothing that we can differentiate that will return the natural log. And so the way that we're going to handle this is kind of weird. This is still in two parts, okay? We do know how to differentiate the natural log. So if I set up my u and my du and my v and my dv, well, instead of making the harder one my dv, this time I'm going to make the thing that I don't know how to integrate my dv. Wait, I said that wrong. That's going to be my u. So 5x minus 9, and then dv is simply dx. So what's the integral of 1 dx? It's x. Okay? 1 dx, the integral of 1 dx is x. Well, now, how do I take the derivative of a natural log? The derivative of the natural log is the derivative of the argument, which is 5, over the argument itself, which is 5x minus 9 dx. So now what do I do? Now I take this into a uv minus the integral of v du. So uv is going to be x times the natural log of 5x minus 9 minus the integral of v du. So I'll have x times 5 over 5x minus 9. So 5x over 5x minus 9 dx. Well, now what am I going to do? So hang on. Okay, sorry. So we're going to use long division on this one. So this is like the nightmare of every math class, because calculus is coming into play and logs are coming into play and long division is coming into play. Bottom line is, if you think about it, whatever x is, my numerator is going to be bigger than my denominator because I'm taking the numerator and subtracting 9. So I'm going to change this thing into right now it's an improper fraction. I'm going to change it into a mixed number. So I'm going to use long division. So come down here. I've got a 5x minus 9. And I'm going to divide that into 5x. Okay, so how many times does 5x go into 5x? Well, it goes in once. So there's 1. So now take that 1 times everything out front. So 1 times negative 9 is negative 9. 1 times 5x is 5x. And then I change my signs. So I end up with a remainder of 9. Okay, so how do I rewrite this thing? This is going to become, remember he's part of your answer. But for right now, I'm going to rewrite this part. So I've got minus the integral of your answer plus, okay, your remainder over what you divided by. So I've got a 5x minus 9 dx. So remember that negative belongs to everything you do. Well, I know how to integrate 1 because it's x. So just for fun, let me do this. I've got a negative. Actually, you're fine. All right. So the integral of 1 is x. So at this point, I'm going to rewrite this. So I've got x natural log 5x minus 9. The integral of 1 is x. So minus x. So this part's done. Okay. Remember, this negative also applies here. So now the question is, how do I do this part? Well, remember, if the derivative of the bottom is in the top, the answer is the natural log of the bottom. So I'm going to rewrite this just so you can see it better. So I'm going to bring my 9 out front because I don't like him. And that gives me a 1 over 5x minus 9 dx. So can I make the derivative of the bottom appear in the top? Well, the derivative of the bottom is 5, which means I need to balance with a 5. And now I've got the answer. So this is now minus 9/5. If the derivative of the bottom is in the top, then your answer is the natural log of the bottom. And then plus c. So again, that's kind of like the perfect storm of almost every math class. So then we've got one more. And hang on, I've lost control. That is going to be 12x. So I've got 12x natural log of 5x dx. So again, I need to make my choice. Well, I don't have a choice because I don't know how to integrate the natural log. So that's going to be my u. So my u is the natural log of 5x, which makes my du, what's the derivative of the argument, is 5. Over the argument itself is going to be 5 over 5x. So your 5's reduce, and you've got a 1 over x dx. Okay? Well, my dv is going to be 12x dx. And then the integral of 12x is going to be 12x squared over 2, which is 6x squared. Okay? So put all this back together. uv, so I'm going to do 6x squared, natural log of 5x, minus the integral of v du. So I'm going to put the 6 out front, and then I have an x squared over an x. So that just reduces to a single x. And I know how to integrate that. So I've got a 6x squared natural log of 5x minus, that's going to become an x squared over 2. So that changes to a 3 plus c. And that is integration by parts. And believe it or not, I kept it pretty basic for you. So I apologize that it's a mess. But I did keep it easy, believe it or not.